Good morning. 9 o'clock in a few seconds. Does things look like they're working all right? Let's see. It's November 11th, 2023, Veterans Day. I have audio confirmation and crazy morning. I took my breakfast out of the toaster oven after doing a bunch of other things at 5 minutes before showtime. I walked up to my desk at 5 seconds after showtime. Oh, I've got some stories to tell. Let's have a look at chat. Pop out chat. And my computer's running a little sluggish. I'm actually seeing a delay on the video camera that I'm looking at, let alone YouTube. All right, zoom in here a little bit. Tim Tech Wiz from 1:55 p.m. yesterday says, hi, everyone. I'm first. I am Groot. Darren Gilholm, hi. Matthew Barnes, let's see, that was from yesterday. And Matthew Barnes from early this morning. Hi, good song choice for the trader. Thank you. Tony Wallow with $1.99. Good morning, change of plans. Now, I'm thinking that Tony's change of plans is what I already know. Let's see, I'm going to get on my other screen to show the bottom of chat to see if there's any updates. Because if he had an update to what he last told me, he would have texted me about that, I think. And Tony Wallow also sent me a contribution through some other source. What was it? What was it? I don't remember. PayPal. Yeah, he sent a nice little extra tip or pay or something on PayPal. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate that very much. I think he was saying, let's see, go back here. What his message was on that. See, I push my buttons on the Stream Deck and it takes quite a while before it responds on screen. Yeah, he says, so hopefully this will, sorry for everything. Hopefully this will cover your time. Tony, there's no need to cover my time. It's all about content on the channel, but I appreciate your kind generosity to myself and to others, other channels in the community. Very much. You are very much loved around here. Chris Garrett, I'm using my old school Optimus stereo system as sound source on my computer. They do not make systems like this anymore. I can turn it up enough to bust the windows. Don't do that. Don't do it. No. Is that like a Mythbusters thing? If Mythbusters was to do a test to see if you can turn a stereo up loud enough to bust the windows, that's kind of the name of their show, isn't it? And my internet just went out again. As soon as I eat, I'm going to reboot my router. Maybe sometime, Doug, and look at my router config to see if you can tell what is going on. I have been getting disconnects a lot. Yeah, that sounds like a fun thing for us to do. John Aloy Sr. says, good day, and everyone. It's been a while since I joined the live stream, but here I am. Good to have you here. Jonathan saying hello to a whole bunch of people. W3HPE Hayes. HPE is, there's an acronym that HP uses, Hewlett Packard. WB. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's some kind of a cool kids designation that I don't know. Some hellos between people. Brian Lightfoot, I must have misread the topics for today. I thought it said Tony Wallow change of planes. Maybe he was going to fly to Fresnoville. Is it? Did I type it right? Let's come back. Let's see. Over to... See, it's taken... I pushed the button. It's taken a long time to come up on screen. Looking over at the recent chat, nobody's saying that they're having any problems with the stream. So I want to come over here and look at, I guess I've got to look at it here for the topics. Yeah, Tony Wallow change of plans. That's what it is. Change of plans, because I told you all we were going to do a remote session with him, so I'll be explaining what happened there in a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. I have chat popped out. I don't need to do that. Here. Daniel Emberley to Chris, my internet just went down for about 5 minutes. I was also down for a while yesterday, think the provider was having trouble. Let's see. Yeah, Tony's giving me a text. When you switch monitors, you lag. I think that's switching monitors, switching scenes from my camera to my monitor, because I think I've only been going to one monitor, right? My internet just went down for 5 minutes. I was also down. So she was sad, right? Because she's not saying her internet was down. It says, I was also down for a while yesterday. I don't know if that's what she meant. I think the provider was having trouble. Yesterday, I had outage notifications from my provider. Carl J says, hello. Hello to you. Brian Lightfoot, I do have a degree in English from the University of Ken Stout, located in beautiful downtown Sheridan, Arkansas. For those who don't know, that is actually Alex Cheek's town, not Ken Stout's town. And the degree in English, what that means, it's a degree that I'm waiting for my camera to show. Okay, it's on a piece of paper and it's written in English. And it's what is it? 98.2, whatever our temperature is supposed to be. That's the degree. So it's written in English on a sheet of paper. That's a degree from the Ken Stout University, because that's how complicated we get there. Jonathan William Dawson from Florida. Chris Garrett, today is going to be different. I hope to see issue with Alice's computer someday. Yeah, she told us the last thing she told us was Crystal Disk Info says the health is good. And then I showed about those individual statistics that I'd like to have a picture of, because that's what we need to see if it's really okay. Jonathan Hay, Chris Garrett Tess, Brian Lightfoot to William, did you just get up or did the Zoom session just end? That was a practice 12-hour session for November 32nd. Okay, so that's probably Ken Stout Zoom session, because they're planning to do a 12-hour live stream on November 32nd. And if that day doesn't work out, they might do it on December 31st. Daniel Emberley, question, do you update the BIOS on working deployed systems? Same practice for AMD and Intel. No, if this question is directed at me, I do not update the BIOS unless something's not working right. If my client computer's out there, there may be an updated BIOS available for them, but what does that provide? Now, it could be, I pushed my button a little while ago, still waiting. There, finally came up on screen here to where you can see me, or I can see me anyway. If the computer's still operating fine, no, I don't update the BIOS. Now, the BIOS update might be to support additional hard drive types that weren't available, or it might be to support other processors or more memory or something. They may be supporting other things that we're not putting in those machines. Now, the thing that you would be concerned about is, are they security issues? Well, for BIOS, typically the security issue is to thwart a infiltrator that has physical access to the computer and is putting a bootable drive maybe in the computer. There are some marginal situations where a hacker from the outside might get in, but they'd first have to have access to get to the router of the office and then be able to move sideways through the office. I'm seeing a lot of sluggishness. I don't have any drop frames. So, no, I don't. I know there are technicians out there that charge their clients to keep every little thing up to date. I think it's excessive. William to Brain. I was on Zoom up to about 5 a.m. and Brain is a pseudonym for Brian Lightfoot. Brian to Danielle, if one to read the notes about a particular BIOS update, you find that most of the time it merely updates the microcode so that it can properly recognize newer CPUs. Yeah, and I have read that. I have gone to read the details. What is being updated in this? And I mean, some minor, some very, very difficult to utilize security holes that they'll patch up. The likelihood that my client's computers are going to get hit with those is so remote. No, I don't. It's just excessive expense, in my opinion. Brian Lightfoot, but some BIOS updates do make some bug corrections and other improvements. Bottom line, it doesn't really hurt anything to update the latest BIOS as long as you know how to do it. Now, on your own computers, absolutely. Occasionally, a BIOS update may improve the performance of the computer. For myself, I might be concerned about that. For my clients, the things that they're typically doing, they don't need those little tiny incremental improvements in performance. And it doesn't really hurt anything. Yes, it does. Updating BIOS when it's not called for does hurt things when it means I'm charging my clients more money for busy work. So yeah, that's no. Some technicians will do that for their clients and they'll include it in their contract amounts. I think it's excessive. And I don't do service contracts. I charge for the work that I do. But for your own computers, sure. Chris Garrett, bad service at Arby's. Again, the price we paid, we could have gone to Cracker Barrels. Greetings here. Okay, I got to skip through things faster. Seldom Ball, Tim Tech, Jonathan. Let's see. Chit chats between peoples. DVR good from Tony. And I think it just jumped on me. How far did it jump? Oh boy. DVR good. Sync issues. Francois, sync issues for me? Are you asking that for me? Audio sounds great on my end. Oh, you're saying my words coming that you're hearing aren't syncing with my mouth? That could be, because that's true for me. When I'm looking at the screen here, it should be instantaneous, and it's not. Previous chat messages, Brian, Ken, seems audio video not syncing. I think that's completely true. Topics 2 and 3. Let's use this screen for topics, and they're down here, 2 and 3. Tony Wallow, and yeah, Optiplex 3050. Since I have that on the desk here, those are 2 really, really good topics for today. Francois Speedy, messing up my whole schedule. I'll send you the bill. Today, skimming through. Tim Sal's in there somewheres. Yeah, there he is. Hello, Tim. Voice not in sync with your video. Transitioning from afternoon as we speak. Let's see. Keeping an eye on the behavior of your computer doing odd things. I'm kind of experiencing this and have been for a while. Not sure how to describe everything, but not working as designed. Now, what I did this morning. Okay, here I'm gonna punch the button to switch my camera in. 3, 2, 1, 0. When I said 0, that's when I hit the button, and it still hasn't shown up yet on my screen. There it is. That's what, like a few seconds. Crazy. And as I'm looking at the screen, and my lips are moving late, according to what I'm hearing. So yeah, it's not in sync. I restarted Big B's Build about 30 minutes before showtime. And I did that because the last thing that I was doing with Big Beast last night was Beat Saber, and I still had the devices plugged in. So this morning, about half an hour before showtime, I unplugged the devices and restarted the server. Figured that would be a good thing to do. And now I've got all this sluggishness going on. Ah, boy. Certified speed tester, audio and video in sync. Oh, Brian says audio and video are in sync. Now, it could be that my computer is letting me see it out of sync, and you guys aren't seeing it out of sync so much. Drop frame 0. Rebooted my machine, Google Chrome. I went to turn on your channel. Wanted to open another Google Chrome all by itself, and it wouldn't do it. It's an odd thing. The less I forget how to click the buttons. And I would like to, in the future, when I have enough examples, to show you an odd thing with my screen turning black for a second in the middle of doing things. It's like somebody reset the graphics. I have that on Baby Beast. It'll go black when Big Beast is starting up. Well, Baby Beast is connected to Big Beast through a capture card. Anyways, please, please, please don't concern yourself with today. It seems harmless. Okay, since he said don't concern myself, I'm not even going to finish reading that last sentence. February 31st, we might use if Ken's other dates don't work. Zavi Minor, hello. I really want to kind of record it somehow, but it's random. Solid screen recorder has to be active all the time in order to catch it. Who knows what's triggering? I come up working in. So, see, he told me not to spend time on it, yet he keeps writing about it, right? Pincushion, lawn dog. That area of what is triggering, and I keep reading it. Okay, I'm going to skip over that because he told me to not spend time on it. I need to catch up here. I haven't even said hello to Zoom people yet. Happy Veterans Day. I almost read that as Valentine's Day. Hello to Dennis. Let's see, Jeff's there. CFWW's there. I'm seriously scanning. I may be missing. What? You actually charge for your services? I thought it was all gratis. Bobby Warren, Sin Vicious, Tim Sal, skip. Time's wasting enough with squirrels, Jim. I had to turn sound effects, other people. Here, let's go say hello in Zoom. Get ready in Zoom. And I almost forgot to even set up Zoom this morning, and I had troubles with Zoom last night with my brothers. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Coming into Zoom, be ready. Turning my video on so they can see me. Hi, I'm waving to them with a really weird kind of wave. I don't know what was up with that. And then I'll change the speakers to my headphones so I can hear them. And then I'll turn on the app audio so that you'll be able to hear them. Bring them up on screen, waiting for the screen to come up. And then I'll unmute my microphone so they can hear me now. And let's say hello, starting in the upper left from me, William Dawson. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you today? Do you have any topics to bring?
No topics, but doing okay.
Okay, good. And let's remind myself and everybody that I'm intending to end the show sometime between 1 hour and an hour and a half long so I can get to my grandson's soccer game. And then hello, Mike. You can unmute.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I unmuted.
Yeah. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm doing great, thanks. Yourself?
Good, good. You have any comments or topics?
No, I'm good.
All right. All right. Then I'll move along and say hello to Bobby. Hello, Bobby Warren. You can unmute and say hello.
Doug.
Hello. Good to see you this morning. Do you have any requests, topics, comments? Briefly?
No,
Okay.
nothing.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead and mute. Thank you. And Tim. Hello, Tim Tech Cruz.
Hello, Doug. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, bless.
Do you have any topics, questions, things to bring up?
No topics today. Nothing.
All right. Then I'll ask you to go ahead and mute yourself, and we'll move along with the show. Now, then, come back here. Oh, look at that. UPS pack. Oh, no. UPS package arrived. Oh, my phone blocked that message. I saw that message come in about UPS package undeliverable, and it disappeared. Scam. We all know that's a scam, right? Now, let's see. Where am I getting back to the topics? 2. So we were planning for Tony Wallow today to connect remotely to his computer. And what I was intending to do was to make an image backup because I think he has enough space on his primary drive that I was going to shrink his partition to make a second partition to where we could do a Macroom Reflect backup. And I was actually possibly going to do that yesterday or earlier this morning so that it would have been done by showtime. We possibly could have completed that and the upgrade during the shortened show time, but that would be a little stressful. I don't think he has a whole lot of bytes on his. I'm pretty sure it's less than 100 gigabytes. What are those numbers again? KMG. I know what it is. I just got a lot in my head this morning. Let's see. So then we're going to make an image backup, and then we're going to use the media creation tool to do an in-place upgrade to Windows 10 22H2 because he's currently on Windows 10 21H2. And last week we tried to fix his failure of Windows updates, and the last thing that was running was trying to install an cumulative update, and it unwrapped itself. It failed and it unwound itself. So it's back on 21H2. So I think what was going on is trying to install it was trying to install the 22H2 cumulative update for October. Well, you can't install an update for 22H2 if you don't have 22H2 already. His Windows operating system was 21H2. So, of course, it didn't work. We didn't notice that till the end. We noticed it when I started typing out the complete name of the update that we were installing, and somewhere along the line realized that he only had 21H2. So if we had noticed that at the beginning of the session last week, we could have got to the right solution a lot quicker. Now, nobody else noticed it either. So that's why we weren't successful then. So Tony sent me a text yesterday. We had already had our plans for doing that. He sent me a text yesterday with a blue screen of death. He got a blue screen of death yesterday while he was playing a game. And he says, I'm sorry to bother you. I'm about to nuke and pave it all, getting a blue screen on it. Maybe you can help Martin with his issue. Thanks anyway. I got the impression that it was just like the last straw. Tony was really kind to be trying to hold off on dealing with that issue so that we could do it on Saturday. But then that blue screen, in my imagination, me imagining myself in his shoes, it was just like the last straw. Boom, I'm done with this. Tony's completely capable of doing nuke and pave, and I'm guessing that he doesn't have a whole lot of other stuff to install after doing a nuke and pave. Now, shortly after that, let's see, he sent me that at 1:28 p.m. and then at 3:32 p.m. So just a couple hours later, he says, just an update. It seems fine now. So I'm assuming he actually completed the nuke and pave, and the computer seems fine. Now, in my experience, when I get a blue screen of death, I don't automatically just go right away with the nuke and pave. I want to see that happening over and over. Then I'll do nuke and pave. But once in a blue moon, oddball, blue screen, I just move along. So anyway, we're not working on that today. Now, let's come back to chat. Let's see, I'm trying to think of some way for you guys in Zoom to make I guess all you have to do is unmute and speak up if you want to interrupt me. And the way I'd like you to do that, if you do that, is just unmute and just give a one word, or breaker, or Doug, or something, rather than just slamming in with your sentence. So I'm looking at chat. Waiting for the screen to come up.
Doug,
Yes, Bobby.
I hear Comcast is doing upgrades in my area on Monday to the 10G internet upgrade for the speed.
For in your area?
Yes,
All right. Well, that sounds cool.
it will be out all day. I have to watch Windows Daily on my Verizon LTE.
Okay. All right. I'm going to move along now. Go ahead and mute
So
again,
may I
please.
say something real quick?
Okay. Go ahead.
I got an issue. My computer, like on Microsoft Edge, I was watching your stream, right? And all of a sudden, it's just not responding. It's crashing and everything. The Microsoft Edge is not responding to the page, and I exit out and it closed it and I reopen it. It's still the same thing, not working properly. You can help me with that. That's all I need help with when you get a chance.
Okay. So when did that symptom first appear?
It just happened today when I got on my Microsoft Edge and turned on my computer. It's the first time it happened.
Have you restarted the computer since that symptom showed up?
No.
Okay,
I booted up.
No, but you booted up before that symptom. You need to
Right.
restart the computer after the symptom and see if it's a
Okay.
continuing
I'll
problem.
try that. I'm gonna do
Okay,
that. I
that's
check
your
for
first thing to
updates
do.
too.
Okay,
Okay.
very good. Go ahead and mute again, please. Thank you. And then moving along back here in chat, Ken Stout, School of English is the best school of English. Well, you can get an English degree written in English. Hello, Zoom people, Wintermute. Hello, Ida. Hello, everyone forgot the time change. Now you're 1 hour earlier. Yeah, that's right. Greg Guy, Morning Doug, all in chat, having first cup of coffee. Still waiting on Zoom or Doom or both. People saying hellos to each other. Cousin John Williams asked, Doug, are you a veteran? No, I am not. I have, let's see, my dad was a veteran. My oldest brother's a veteran. My other two brothers are not veterans. I have one uncle that's a veteran. I have cousins and nephews that are veterans. Wintermute, hi. Let's see, people saying hi's to each other. Rick Lakes, Brian, not much. I didn't get home to 2 a.m. That's chit chat. Skip the chit chat, Doug. Wintermute's helloed out. I'm not going to try to figure out that one. Let's see. Daniel, back on older operating systems, I recall there were freeware programs that one could use that would capture some of the blue screen data and give information that was a wee bit easier to understand. Well, that one that we worked with from, I think it was Nursoft, sometime, I think last Saturday or the Saturday before that. I actually thought that was pretty helpful. But the information that's provided it's always what the computer's impression of the problem was. Whatever the actual blue screen error message is, all it's telling you is what the computer sees as the problem, and that true source of the problem always can be something else. So it can be misleading. It can put you in the right direction. Sometimes it can get you straight onto the issue. So there, I'm caught up in chat. Let's go look at this computer behind me. And let me see if my keyboard camera is working. I had to move it. It was connected to another place this morning. So the keyboard camera is working. And then I couldn't find the lamp, the light that I use. Let's see, what is my best way to... That is over here. This is the computer I told you about a bit yesterday that came in because it would not boot up. And I told you yesterday that I tried to make a backup image and got a bunch of read errors. But the thing I wanted to show about it is I really liked the design of this case. So to show that to you, I need to put it back together. It's a Dell Optiplex. Oh, it's upside down. Oh. And it's just a little bit too old to be qualified for Windows 11. It has TPM 2.0, but the CPU is not qualified. I think it's a 7th gen. All right, so there you can see the face of it. Let's see, I got to push it. What's really weird here is because of that delay, I move it one direction and it's a while before I see it. Maybe if I do this. Yeah, I'm going to give you a better look at it. It's got a DVD player, Optiplex 3050. And let's see, two super speed USB 3.0 on the front and to USB 2.0. You probably just heard a difference in my voice when the computer was between me and the microphone. And there's the back side of it. It's got HDMI and yeah, display port. Jeez. Two 3.0 or 3 point something USB ports on the back, to 2.0. But what I liked about it is, first of all, taking off the side panel is these screws that are almost thumb screws. I would have liked it even better if I didn't have to pull out a screwdriver, but I did have to pull out a screwdriver. And then these are captured screws, so you don't have you can't even put them down and lose them somewhere. So once you pull back the screws out, like I did there, then there's this thumb tab here. All right, we need a different way of doing this. All right, I got that thing locked up tight, camera locked up tight. All right, well, you'll be able to see this one. Just pull it back a little bit, and then it comes out this way and comes off. Nothing really special, that it's easy to take the side panel off. But then that's when it got interesting. There's this panel here, and I need to get to the hard drive. You can see those 4 mounting holes for the hard drive, and I thought, oh well, this might get a little bit of a nuisance to get to that hard drive. But then there's these tabs on the side here to take off the front panel. So you just pull those tabs up a little bit, each one at a time. So I've got that pulled out now, and then it just comes off the rest of the way, like so. There's the tabs on the other side, or nothing that you have to touch or depress. And then I was looking at this. Okay, well now how do I get to that? How do I get to that drive? And they've got these embossed images in here, instructions that show pretty well what to do. And it is just, let's see if I can accomplish this here. Yeah, just pulls up like that. So once you've taken the screws out for the hard drive over here, pulled up like that, there's a cage that the hard drive is in. And this is just a very, very open, easy to work in area. Now this had a hard drive in it, and I was wondering, does this computer use, oh, you know the word that I keep struggling with, that extra side memory that helps the spinning hard drive work better. Why do I hate that word so much? Optane, thank you. Yes, Optane. So I went and looked at the manual for it, and it has instructions about Optane. I said, yeah, but does this computer actually have it? And I wound up discovering, no, it does not, because the M.2 socket right here is where the Optane memory goes, and there was nothing in that socket. That tells me it was not using Optane. Now, then something that I liked here, I bet I can use the keyboard camera for this. For the M.2 slot, you know all those different ways that they have the fastening pins, screws, and these standoffs and all that kind of stuff, and there's specialty devices, and what if you lose it or misplace it, all that kind of stuff. So I want to show you here what they did. I haven't seen this before. Now that is the replacement SSD that's in there, the NVMe that's in there now. This was not originally in the computer. But this little blue tab here, you know what, I haven't tried opening that since I put this in. How does it come up? Seems like it must just come up. Well, it went in real easy, I'll tell you that. I don't want to damage it by fussing with that too much. I've already got it loose a little bit. You can see that I've got some play there. But originally that was completely open and there was nothing in the socket. So I just put the NVMe M.2 in there and then pushed this pin down and that secured it, snapped into place. So it's not even a screw. This DVD drive, is in here, and this is a quick release. So you just depress that a little bit, and then the drive pushes down through the front of the computer. Anyway, I just kind of really appreciated the design of this. I'll look at chat and see if you have any specific questions about the inside of this case, but that's about all that I have to talk about. Yeah, okay, so Ran Israel in chat, giving us the name of that blue screen view from NurSoft, was the software we used a week or two ago. Brian Lightfoot, it wasn't upside down. That's the design for use in Australia down under. Was that something I skipped over? Was that all this part? Wasn't upside down. What did I think I totally misplaced that. Proprietary power supply unit, yes, it is, but I have had no trouble buying replacement power supplies for Dell and HP computers. I've always found them to be available. So it's just got these 3 screws on the back side. But yeah, definitely proprietary. And most of the times I find the major manufacturers have proprietary power supplies. I certainly have not been able to buy them locally, so I've always had to order them. And that was more of a problem before Amazon came around, because I started my business in 1992, working for other companies before that. So we typically had to order parts, and they might take a week or two to arrive. And typically not free shipping. Free shipping? Are you kidding me? Back in those days, he would ask us about free shipping, and no, that's not really a thing. What else do we have over here? Jim says it's always proprietary PSU. It's a Dell. HP has the same issue. Now, I actually have been able to buy locally sourced generic power supplies and make them work in some. I can't say whether it's been Dell and HP's that I've done, but I have done it some. It's a little wonky to make it work, but in a pinch, I could do it. And I've even done it where I'm not able to screw it in properly. Just to get somebody up and running, I'll temporarily hook up some power supply, even if I have to leave the side cover off so that they can work while we're waiting for the right power supply to arrive. So you can get a power supply to work without it fitting properly on a temporary basis and be the hero to your client. Doug, I've got particular machines like that where they were very elaborate on how the pieces were put together like that. It looks easy, like easy access. but they sure put a lot of effort into the case. You know what? On that point, I gotta say, there are engineers who, now they're not electrical engineers who come up with case designs, and in some level somewhere it's a specific training, and it's just amazing about how every model will be, they'll have all these unique designs in it. How much money are they spending on that, where it's such a different design every time? I had a client, 20 years ago. I had them as a client for about 10 years. I lost them as a client when they were bought out by a larger company who used a nationwide support firm that sent their technicians on airplanes around the country to fix things. And I still worked with them in collaboration with that support company for a while, until they got one of their people based locally. But anyway, it was a corrugated box manufacturing company. They started with rolls, big, huge rolls of brown paper, and had all these huge machines that would corrugate the cardboard and laminate them and cut them and bend them and score them and make different shapes out of them. And they had all kinds of crazy different boxes that they would come up. They had 2.5 staff members. I don't want to try to put a second finger halfway up. 2.5 staff members that used Apple computers, and it was their job to design these boxes. So their sales department conferred with the design department, conferring with the customer to come up with these, crazy, complex boxes. It's impressive. Respect for the skill, but I have to wonder, how much money does that all cost? Jeez, come up with all those new designs, and then they got to retool the manufacturing processes to do it. Wintermute gave me the Optane name, design. Ken Wintermute, since you're all held out, pox on Optane. Yeah, let's not do Optane. Now, while I have this computer, I had it in mind that I would like to take some time to do a couple of testing things with this, because even though I don't believe this computer was using Optane, it still had that Intel yada yada something or other software installed that supports the Optane. So I think it still has the support software, the drivers in place for supporting Optane. Now, I don't think I'm not really interested in experimenting with turning on, activating Optane, but what I was interested in doing is to do some supportive experiments related to what Martin Hogg was working on, meaning I already have a fresh Windows 10 installed here on this new drive. So make a clone of that to a spinning drive, perhaps not his spinning drive because it's toast, but a valid functioning spinning drive. Make a clone to it and see if the computer will boot up with both of them in place. I think I'll have the same problem that Martin had with it failing to boot, and I believe because of that, having that EFT system partition on two different drives that are both competing for control. Now, I was describing that. I think that's what was going on for Martin, but I haven't proved it. I haven't demonstrated it myself. So then the other thing would be, once I've cloned that to the other drive, I'll try deleting the EFT partition from the NVMe drive and see if the computer will then boot up on the other cloned drive, or doing the operation reverse, maybe both ways. I'll try deleting the partition from the target cloned drive and just kind of play with that a bit. See, if I was properly prepared for the show today, I wouldn't have those alarms ringing during this time period. Normally, these alarms ring before the 11 a.m. time slot, so I didn't clear up my alarms. for this different time slot. Careful with your fingers and that cheap metal. Yes, Ida, I have cut myself. I have had times working on inside a computer where my hands come out and I realize I got blood on my hands and don't realize when that happened. I also have times when, after working inside computers, maybe later in the day or even the next day, I discover pain in my fingertips. And it's because my fingers have been touching on some sharp objects and got micro injuries. Appropriate in a microcomputer that you would get micro injuries. Lon Doug, I'm not so sure, Doug, using Octane function is still in play. Generally speaking, I think it's mainly used for slower storage. Well, yeah, for example, SSD as storage. Well, it was used for spinning hard drives. And if you upgrade a computer that has a spinning hard drive and is using Optane, you put an SSD in it without disabling the Optane, it might still be functioning. And I think it's kind of redundant if you have SSD storage to be using Optane. But yeah, it's supposed to speed up your experience with spinning hard drives. I haven't proven that to myself, but I believe it. I'm a believer. But envy me, I think at that point, Optane memory started to fade away. Yeah, with SSDs, I don't think it's used on new computers that aren't coming with spinning drives. CPU cooler config hasn't changed in 20 years. Neither has the case. Yeah, well, this Optiplex 3050, certainly that case hasn't changed. There's plenty of other cases for Optiplex. And the cooler config, yeah, it's just it's a radial engine. It's a radial engine heat sink. People who aren't experienced with airplanes may not know what I'm talking about, but a radial engine has an engine that is, well, what I mean by radial is it's, you think of the cylinders in an automotive engine, and you've got the cylinders in a V8 engine that are going this way. Well, in a radial engine, you got a cylinder up here, cylinder, 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 and it goes all the way around, and the propeller spinning, crankshaft spinning. Now, in some of those radial engines, the actual cylinders spin. It's a rare engine, rare radial that does that. I think I'm saying that correctly. Another Doug moment. I didn't catch the brand name on the computer, but I have a lot of older Dell computers that have elaborate internals for cases like that. I find them, generally speaking, very helpful, especially for upgrades. I think Asus pioneered that twist connector for M.2. Is it a twist? Is that what I was doing wrong? It doesn't feel like a twist to me. It feels like it's just a push and pull. And the reason I say that is because of this loop on the back side. It doesn't look like it will twist. Let's see if I press, try to turn that. Yeah, it feels to me like it's just pull out and push down. And I can get it to pull up a couple of notches. I think there's probably some special trick to doing that. Unfortunately, I don't think modern cases from Dell are this elaborate anymore, but I haven't had my hands on anything new. Free shipping is a thing. Jim, Alienware is a nightmare of mechanical engineering for no real reason. See some of the teardowns on Alienware that Gamers Nexus has done. Optane memory is difficult to recommend for do-it-yourself PC builders. Pairing up higher capacity hard disk drive with Optane memory can give SSD-like performance. for far more data. Well, I think it's highly unlikely any DIY builders these days would be using a spinning hard disk drive. But with NVMe drives, this Optane memory just isn't needed. It was great for hard drives. See, it was here. January 2021. What's that about? Oh, Intel stopped production of Optane in January 2021. All right. That makes sense. Some of the homies have pain in their fingertips. That's because of Destiny's Child. That's a game that they're playing. Sin Vicious. I bought a refurbished Optane for a neighbor. Started and used Crystal Info. Drive had 45,000 hours. I was already reallocating sectors. It was never refurbished. I went ballistic. It was never refurbished. Oh, okay, because you're saying that because the drive wasn't replaced. Yeah, what does refurbished really mean? You're not a PC technician until you shed blood on an ATX IO shield. Let's see. What do we got here? Who joined us? Let's go say hello to the newcomer.
It's
New
Ken.
person. New person to the party. Hello, Kenneth the Stout.
Hello, Doug. Hello, Tim. Hello, William. Mike, good to see you. Hello, Bobby.
Hello, Ken. How you doing?
I'm good.
Hi,
Good to hear
Ken.
my audio's working.
Yeah, and
Let me
Yes,
zoom out of
sir.
the way for this real quick.
yeah, you've got a nice flag there for us. Thank you for bringing that to the party, and thank you for your service to all of the veterans that are in the audience.
Thank
and
you.
all of those who have been impacted by the sacrifice of veterans. If any of you had the pain of losing somebody. All right, Ken, did you have anything to bring to the party, or shall I continue?
Oh, it's a party? Doggone it. I'll be right back.
All right. That almost qualified
No,
for
I
the
don't
wait.
have anything, Doug. I'm just joining. Hi,
All
Mike.
right.
Oh, I said hi, Mike. Never mind. I'm old.
I said hi to my microphone earlier already. Alice says hello to everybody. Optane memory provide fast shuffle. Yeah, I'm going to move along instead of reading all of that. I like the style of coolers. Processor low wattage because Carrie was recommending them. What was that? Oh, bought a refurbished Optane for a neighbor. Started use Crystal Disk Info. It was never refurbished. I went ballistic. Yeah, I've bought a lot of refurbished computers. I actually bought a lot of refurbished computers for my clients and was overall happy for them. But I did find a lot of variations between what the refurbishers were doing as far as refurbishing computers. Some of them were excellent and some of them not so much. Engines, unique design, small compact space. Might need two hands, one to push the memory card down, the other to turn. I think that flapper needs to be engaged, but does look a little long. I don't think I really care about figuring that out. Oh, Wintermute says pull up. Another one of those alarms. Let's go up. Pull up there. Removing optional M.2 PCIe SSD. Pull the blue tab that secures to the system board. Disconnect. So it's just pull up. Just use more force. All right. Got to try it. Do I even have pliers? Not nearby. There. That's what you got to do. You got to pretend like you're in the gym. in the gym. Not the KJ3N gym. I mean the GYM. So then when I put it back down, it goes down that far, and then I get clicks. 1, 2. The first one didn't make much of a click. I just kind of pushed in a little bit. All right, so that worked. Since he had documentation saying pull up, that gave me the confidence to pull up more forcefully. We're approaching 1 hour, and I'm kind of thinking that we're going to go ahead and shut this down near the 1 hour mark. How far behind am I? Oh, close to the end. When I got out of computer school, one of the graduating gifts was a free computer to take home. While I chose a Dell refurbished computer from Dell. Well, it's coincidental. It was a Dell refurbished computer actually from Dell. Well, how about that? It was absolutely brand new. Yeah, I have seen refurbished computers, both towers and minis and laptops that totally look new. My guess it was used like in a trade show. The hard drive didn't even have 200 hours on it. Hulk smash. And it still served me well right next to me. I don't turn it on too much. Very powerful computer, but by today's standards. But I did put in a lot of add-in cards, upgrade to Windows 10 almost 10 years ago, tortured the heck out of it. Might be better to use a Pigeon. Let's see. It says go to channel. See, I'm not trying to go to his channel. I'm trying to do his link. I got to escape to get rid of that. Then still didn't go. Is that a channel? I don't think so. Open link in new tab. Try that. Huh. Oh, it's those of all those times I was clicking on that, it was opening up on my other screen. Slow internet speeds, it might be faster to use a Pigeon. Okay, say you're sending something 100 miles away. Use a Pigeon, use the internet. Data size gigabytes. At 30 megabits per second, sending files over 34 gigabits, approximately 35 episodes of Sesame Street, may be faster via Pigeon. Do they say how the distance? Are these upload speed, data size? I don't see, internet doesn't care about distance, but Pigeons do. Huh. I'm sure Jim didn't expect me to spend that much time on it. Good luck to your grandson. Thank you. They won their game last week. It's a city league he's playing in. So they got all the people who signed up, all the kids who signed up to play, and then they formed teams out of all those kids. There are 2 teams in the entire league. And my daughter says the other team, the kids all look bigger than the ones that are on Braden's team. I once had a Dell computer, did a great job of holding the door open. Our instructor told us a lot of refurbished computers are from the manufacturers, often used in trade shows and other sales venues. Because they were opened up and used and turned on, they had to sell them as refurbished. That makes sense. On the other hand, third-party refurbishers, yours often get computers from large corporations who upgrade their computers every few years. Let's see, skimming through. All right. I'm not going to read through all those, Lawn Dog, because I want to get out of Dodge. A whole flock of birds, of pigeons, get out of Dodge. What little innuendo am I flirting with there? Don't put it in chat. Yeah, I think we're done here. Let's go bring Zoom people in to say goodbye to the audience. And this is a 1 hour show on the nose. Fresnville, Dodge. Oh, from Ken Stout. All right, I'll ask you all to unmute yourselves and say goodbye to everybody. I don't think Tim's even listening. Oh, yeah.
I'm here. I'm here. Goodbye, everyone. Blessings to you all. See y'all next time. I'm gonna miss you guys.
All right. Anyone else going to say goodbye?
Same bat time, same bat channel.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. I think Ken waved or something.
I would say goodbye, but I'm not listening, so I'm not going to say goodbye.
All right, Ken, could you not say goodbye, please? Shaking his head, no. All
I'm
right.
going to do it.
I'm
Wouldn't
gonna-
be prudent at this juncture.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. And I'm
See ya.
gonna bounce them all out. They are ejected. Thanks for hanging around with me this morning. Have a great weekend, everybody. Happy Veterans Day. Give a veteran a hug, will you? All right. Goodbye.